Hi, everyone. I hope everybody is having a great event so far. And welcome to a Chainlink and Filecoin startup discussion panel. My name is Brett. I am the Chainlink Labs Grant Program Manager. So a little bit about the grant program is that we deploy resources towards the creation of critical smart contract infrastructure, as well as the addition of new and high quality data to bring into smart contracts, but also the launching of key services around those smart contracts. So that being said, a main purpose of ours is to best understand how we can equip the developers in our ecosystem, not just financially, but also giving them the tools and technology to build this infrastructure, and ultimately creating exciting new use cases and applications. So Chainlink recently announced that we're integrating with Filecoin. So Filecoin is the world's largest open source decentralized storage network. So what this does, it essentially creates a bi-directional connection between Filecoin and its network and smart contract platforms like Ethereum. In simple terms, this means you can use Chainlink to bridge cryptographically proven data stored on Filecoin's network to smart contracts to trigger on-chain code, as well as to use Chainlink oracles to enable smart contracts to trigger Filecoin storage capabilities. So this is super exciting because building with Filecoin and Chainlink enables a ton of new ways that we can build Web3 applications, use cases, services. So some of those services can be around data bounties, triggering payments when a data set is verifiably proven, perpetual storage contracts where you can deposit funds and perpetually maintain the storage of certain data, miner insurance, and things like content-first NFTs or dynamic NFTs. So that being said, I'd like to throw it over to Michelle from Filecoin to talk a little bit more about Filecoin, the work we're doing together, and also to kick off our panel with some amazing startups.
Thanks so much, Brett. My name is Michelle Lee, here with the Filecoin Project and Protocol Labs. I spearhead our developer onboarding and growth initiatives, including our advocacy program, grants program, and collaborations. It's really great to be here today because I think we're seeing a new wave of integrations and collaborations and interoperability all across Web3. Filecoin, you may have heard of us as the world's largest decentralized storage network. It's a storage network designed for Web3 from the ground up. I think one of the most exciting things about Filecoin is that the native building block is a CID or content ID. And that's a unique fingerprint generated from the content. It's used in our IPFS storage technology, but IPFS doesn't have the incentive layers that encourages peers or incentivizes peers to retain your content on the decentralized web. So there are pinning services available. You can run your own nodes, but Filecoin provides a really exciting innovation that is an incentivized on-chain verifiable storage layer for your content. And what that means, what it means to have this CID as a building block is we can use these CIDs all across the decentralized web. We can use them in integrations with smart contract networks. We can use them in different storage architectures alongside IPFS. We can use them in integrations with Chainlink, for example. And we have a couple exciting announcements coming at the end of this session around integration specifically. But before we get too deep into that, I also want to talk a little bit about our Filecoin ecosystem pipeline. We're seeing a ton of interest from new developers at all levels of maturity, whether it's working at home on a personal project or something that you're working on in your research lab or with a team of friends or coworkers, all the way through Series A, B, and C companies. We're seeing teams come in through events like hackathons. For example, the Spring Chainlink Hackathon had a Filecoin track, and we had a ton of amazing submissions and interesting applications of both pieces of technology. From hackathons, the next step for some teams is accelerators and getting ready for venture funding. So we had the Filecoin Launchpad Accelerator, and several of the hackathon projects from the Spring Chainlink Hackathon ended up joining the Launchpad Accelerator. And now now they're garnering interest from a bunch of different funders in the space as well. So, we're excited to have you all here with us today. Who knows, maybe your project today or maybe your next project building on top of Chainlink and Filecoin is going to be the seed for something amazing. We're about to hear from 3 awesome panelists, company leaders, inventors, innovators, creators who are building the future of Web3, and really excited to hear from them what they're up to, how they see the future of these decentralized technologies. And so without further ado, I'm going to kick it over to Karen Sheng from Nifty Url. Karen, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself, how you got started, and how you decided when you decided it was the right moment to keep working on your project?
Okay, sure. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you here. Thank you for having me here. My name is Karen Sheng. I am one of the co-founders of Nifty Url. So there are 4 of us all together. I am the only one who is currently based in the US. Then we have 2 co-founders based in Canada and the other one based in Tel Aviv, Israel. So the 4 of us form a team 1 week before the Chainlink Spring Hackathon kickoff around March. And it's been a very incredible journey for all of the 4 of us. And so we hit a very critical milestone at the end of June when we launched when we did our beta launch on the mainnet of E3 with our Genesis job. So Nifty Url is essentially a gamified NFT marketplace that aims to augment utilities of NFTs and the experience of collectors through on-chain games. So the very first gaming mechanic we have introduced is an on-chain battle royale game as a unique way to distribute one-of-one NFTs.
Thank you so much, Karen. So much more that we want to hear from you. Yeah. For now, we're about to switch to an introduction from our next panelist. But first, I want to know, of the 4 co-founders, which one of you would win a battle?
That's an interesting question. But the way we design this game, it's because we integrate Chainlink Oracle, so it's actually truly random. So it's not a skill-based game at the moment. But I will credit one of our co-founders, Team Nan, who actually came up with this very unique idea in the first place.
Okay, I guess that's a testament to the rigor and reliability of the Oracle. All right, over to you, Sam. Tell us about how you got started, what Xerox.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Michelle. I'm Sammy Bao. Sam is fine too. I'm now the founder of Xerox Essential. As you mentioned, I got started in the Chainlink Spring Hackathon. Was winding down a previous, Web 2.0 startup after sort of failing over the last year. Should have been probably applying for jobs, but like to build stuff, and NFTs were sort of hitting the mainstream right about then. So I sort of jumped into the space and. Found just like really great tutorials and documentation from Chainlink on building NFTs, and sort of just started there and found the hackathon, just through the website. I did a project called Cryptorchids for the hackathon. Actually launched it to Mainnet before the hackathon was over, and ended up selling quite a few of these flowers. So. That was quite nice and staved off me having to find that next job. And so now I'm thrilled to be sort of in this space full time. And like you mentioned, in the Filecoin Tachyon Launchpad Accelerator. Really happy to be here. Thanks for having me, and looking forward to chatting some more today.
Well, thank you so much, Sammy. And last but not least, over to Teresa at Tamago Finance.
Yeah, thanks, Michelle. And this is Teresa from Tamago Finance. And as Karen and also Sam mentioned, that we are also from Chainlink Hackathon as well. Then I want to highlight that actually my co-founder and myself, we are basically based in Thailand, and we try to actually we run the ETH BKK and also DeFi Bangkok since 2020. And by participating Chainlink Hackathon and also Filecoin Accelerator actually gave us a lot of resource and also courage, and also the mentor guide for us how to start from 0 to 1. And right now, Tamago Finance, we start to helping our community to solve some problem like decentralized finance. They are facing some problem of doing derivative. It's very hard for them to start. So we try to solve, based on this problem, try to solve this to our community. Yeah, so that's pretty much from my end.
Great, thank you, Teresa. I'd love to know, folks are about to, enter, this period of building. So I'm curious what your experience was like building during the hackathon. Did your team form during the event, or did you bring your teammates in beforehand? And what was it like to build during this hackathon period?
Oh, I can go first. So we, our team didn't know each other until around the first week of March. So it was very interesting because I got interested in the NFT space. And then I was looking for, I reached out to my network and happened to know someone who worked on the Chainlink team, Kenan. So I reached out to him and he introduced me to the Discord server of Chainlink Hackathon. And he said that, well, this is a great space to just reach out to people and chat with the community. And that's how it started. So I had this very broad idea of building an NFT marketplace. And then I just ended up chatting with some folks in the Hackathon channel individually, and I was very fortunate to put together the team within a week.
Great, thank you. And Sammy, are you a solo founder? What was that experience like?
Yes, I am. I came into the hackathon solo. I'm still a solo founder now. I wouldn't recommend it, frankly, but I was so new to the space and didn't know any solidity. I'd really never worked on a dApp before. So I kind of felt like I should be alone and explore, because like this thing might totally fail. So I didn't want to necessarily have other folks in the hackathon depending on me as like a very new engineer. It worked out, fortunately, right? And I was able to move pretty quickly and hired an artist to collaborate with me on our tokens. Yeah, it's a lot, right? I would say being a solo founder now, I mean, it's like we're going through this accelerator. It's a fire hose. I'll say though too, like I'm impressed that both of my co-panelists, I mean, starting a company with folks you met at a hackathon is a big, that sounds scary to me. So major props to you guys for going out on that branch, and very much supporting and hope you guys succeed.
So I heard both Teresa and Sammy mention, and also Karen getting into the Discord, finding great documentation. What other reasons kind of prompted you to choose to build with Chainlink and Filecoin? Like, what excited you most about these technologies, and what role do they play in your stack?
Teresa?
Yeah, so because we are doing the DeFi application and also combine the synthetic asset, including the derivative. So Chainlink Oracle is very important for us, especially to support our price feed on that. So yeah, this is one of the, I think it's also the most important reason we cannot live without Chainlink. And also, I think Chainlink Marine community is so supportive, and like they always help us to retweet and also to help us to connect with other like group project who can help us as well. So this is what we really thankful for that. And for Filecoin as well, like after we joined, after we finished the Chainlink Hackathon, then we got the notice about the Filecoin Accelerator program. And we go through all of the program about that. Is like all of the content are very, very useful, and try to, because this actually is our first time to start the startup. So I mean, like everything is very, very helpful and useful for us. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll jump into. I mean, the Chainlink stuff is all over our stack in IPFS. You know, I use VRF in the Cryptorchids project. Was very happy with that. I think we see a lot of, not a lot, but some exploits and problems with, you know, the sort of pseudo random number generation. And for me, being new and like also just my experience in web dev is like, I'm kind of usually just, you know, slapping a few services together to build something else. And that felt like a really reasonable thing to do with VRF. So I'm thrilled with that. And then, you know, I think also Nifty Url and I are both sort of looking at keepers on Polygon. And so it's been great to sort of have a relationship with the Chainlink team as you sort of work towards that. So that will be part of our stack too. On the IPFS side, you know, NFTs, we're putting all of our metadata on IPFS. I've got one really interesting use case, I think, for IPFS. I'm sort of building some gaming stuff as well. These sort of open gaming platforms for other NFTs to participate in. And so that sort of creates this question is like, okay, how do you keep these games fair if they're sort of open and anyone's allowed to sort of create an in-game asset? And so IPFS, right, that the sort of content addressable hashing, like that makes that really easy, right? Because we can say, hey, pin this JSON file that specifies your game items on IPFS, and we can use that then to import their pieces into the game. And it's like, that can't change, right? It can't be tampered with because the hash would change. So definitely both you know, both services are huge in our stack. And you know, I love the idea of not needing to reinvent the wheel and sticking together these protocols and things. It's really quite nice.
Yeah, I'd like to add that. Well, so what's unique about our product is that, well, we incorporate two oracles from Chainlink. One is VRF, and the other one is Keepers, as Sammy mentioned. So VRF has been a fairly widely used oracle across the NFT and gaming space. But I think our product is one of the first beta users of the Keepers registry. So I think we are really appreciative of the entire Chainlink team, and particularly the product team associated with Keepers. So we have been working really closely with them from the very beginning, and they give us tremendous support technically. And we have a dedicated chat group with them, with the entire team, with about 10 people from the Chainlink team on Discord. So as the saying goes, that it takes a village to raise a child. I think by the time when we were getting ready for our launch, we just feel like every day that it takes a village to launch a product to the market. And we're really appreciative that the Chainlink team is part of the village and the family for us.
Fantastic. So one last question for everyone. What advice do you have for other developers and entrepreneurs looking to build with Chainlink, IPFS, and Filecoin?
My advice is that also for anyone who might be interested in hackathons, in Chainlink hackathon in the future, is that those opportunities are not limited to developers only. And usually it makes a very strong team when you have complementary skill sets among the team members. For instance, for our team, I'm actually when they started out, I'm actually the one who has the least technical background in blockchain. I come from background in data science. I was running analytics. I was leading projects in analytics and growth initiatives in the Web2 businesses previously. And also on our team, we have 2 developers who are strong in either front blockchain development and front end development. Another person who is very strong in product design, had previous product management experience in the blockchain space. So I think, complementary skill sets are crucial and very valuable. Yeah.
I feel pretty unqualified to give advice, given my sort of lack of experience in the space, right? I guess what I would sort of suggest is, one, like, you don't really need to reinvent the wheel. There's so much like open source stuff out there and tutorials and great things to borrow from, and just the nature of, smart contracts, typically they're verified and you can see the source of these things. So even for non-engineers, I'd say read every smart contract you come across, right? I think you can learn so much just by reading. For engineers that are coming into, Web3, I would just sort of remind you that, at the end of the day, it's just code, right? And it's, you read enough, it's not magical, right? Solidity is a fun language, I think. And so just stick with it, right? The community is very helpful. Probably become friendly with Patrick Collins from the Chainlink team. He is the probably most helpful person I've found in the space. But yeah, I guess those would be some of the things I would suggest to folks sort of new to the space getting started.
Thanks, Sam. And then Teresa?
Yeah, I think I'll keep sharp and short. Is at the beginning we thought we have co-founder with technical and finance professionals, but this to build a project is still a big way not enough. So my suggestion is always don't be afraid to ask for the help, especially for Chainlink and also Filecoin ecosystem. A lot of people are stay here and willing to help. Yeah, that's my answer. Thanks, everybody.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sammy, Teresa, Karen, so much for sharing your thoughts and your experiences. Hopefully we'll see next wave of builders and entrepreneurs coming through as well. I want to ask if you have any shout outs or plugs for the audience, like a beta that they should sign up for, or a launch that they should look out for from your companies. Where can people go to check out your building?
Yeah, sure. So we have a live website already, niftyurl.com. However, it's right now the audience could see a completed battle royale game on our battles arena, but we don't have active jobs at the very moment. But we are working on our pipeline. I think the best way to connect with us is to join our Discord server and also follow us on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll, I guess like people kind of realize we're pre-recording this. I don't know if I was supposed to say that. Sorry. I'm about to launch something after this meeting, actually. So I'm launching our first game for Xerox Essential called Wrestlers. It allows any NFT project to integrate their, avatar project into our gaming platform and wrestle against other NFTs. So we're very excited about it. I would say check out the demo. You can watch some demo matches on wrestlers.com. And if you're involved in any NFT communities, Bored Apes, Cool Cats, any of these sort of things, like tell the project devs that you want to wrestle and have them get in touch with us. We'll provide open source code to make them compatible with the game. And we want you to come, play in the wrestling arena, join the Metaverse Wrestling Federation. We're having a lot of fun with it. So hopefully you guys will be able to check it out.
Thanks, Sammy. And Teresa, anything in particular that you'd like our listeners to check out?
Yeah, so everybody can visit our website, www.tamago.finance, and we will be user will be able to play on it on Mainnet and also Coven testnet. And we are still very junior. I mean, like it's still a very long path to go. So everybody, if you are like willing to help us to build a community, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, Sam, Karen, Teresa, and Brett as well for bringing us all together. We are really looking forward to following your companies and your trajectories. Next up, before we end, Brett and I have a very special announcement for you. So building on the success of the Filecoin track at the Chainlink Hackathon, as well as the Filecoin Launchpad Accelerator success, I guess these two communities just really like working together and bringing people together. We're launching a co-grant program. We're funding novel ideas and implementations building upon Chainlink and Filecoin infrastructures. So as part of this program, we'll be awarding grants up to 5 projects building with these two technologies. It can be really, we're really looking for your creative and novel ideas. So some initial use cases that come to mind are Filecoin miner insurance or data bounties, DeFi data, automated storage, smart contracts. Really, the possibilities are endless, and we're looking forward to the applications and proposals that you submit. For more information and the application process, you can see the announcement on the Chainlink blog or the Filecoin blog, and the application will be through GitHub at filecoin-project/devgrants, and it's linked to from both of the blog posts. So we're looking forward to reviewing your submissions and seeing what else can be built at the future of Web3. Thank you.
All you have to do is build it yet again. The theme returns. Thank you so much to that panel, Filecoin and Brett, for the Chainlink Grants program.